So this is gas that would otherwise not be used, right? Being used to power Bitcoin mining. How does it work?
That's correct. So what happens in the oil field is there's something called flaring. It's one of the largest emission sources from oil production. What happens is an oil company will drill an oil well, and one of the byproducts of that is natural gas. And if they don't have access to a pipeline, the best, most economic thing for them to do is just light it on fire. And when they do that, they end up actually venting quite a bit of the methane in the atmosphere. And methane is a very potent greenhouse gas. It traps 82.5 times more heat in the atmosphere than CO2. And so it creates this massive waste with no beneficial use, and everybody kind of loses in this situation.
So how do you then use it to power Bitcoin mining?
Sure. So Crusoe developed a technology called digital flare mitigation, where we build, operate, and manage these mobile modular data centers that we deploy into the oil field, and we co-locate on site with the sites that would be flaring. And now instead of the gas being flared, it feeds into the digital flare mitigation systems to create low-cost computing infrastructure to power digital currency mining, high-performance computing, GPU cloud computing product, and things like artificial intelligence research.
You're running a pilot program using excess natural gas from Exxon in North Dakota. How's that going?
We actually can't comment on the relationship with Exxon. It's just no comment on that for time being.
But can you tell us a little bit more about the process? I mean, certainly if you can rack up big partners, this could be quite powerful.
Sure. So flaring is a global problem, and the World Bank has this initiative to end routine flaring by 2030. Today, there's about 14 billion cubic feet a day that get flared with no beneficial use. To put it in context of, like, if we could capture all of that gas and harness it for computing, we could actually power the whole Bitcoin network 8 times over. So, it's a very, very large waste. It's enough to power all of sub-Saharan Africa. It's a very, very significant amount of wasted gas globally. Today, we operate in the Bakken in North Dakota, as well as Colorado and Wyoming. But with this additional financing, we're planning to expand into markets like the Permian Basin in Texas, the Vaca Muerta down in Argentina, places like Abu Dhabi and Oman in the Middle East, where flaring, has been a persistent challenge for many decades.
So longer term, what are the opportunities you see to, as you say, align the future of computing to the future of the climate?
Sure. So Crusoe's core mission is to align the future of computing with the future of the climate. What does that mean? For us, that means building large-scale climate-aligned computing infrastructure to solve the world's most energy-intensive computing problems. And digital currency mining is a great example, artificial intelligence research, high-performance computing. And if you look at many estimates, they sort of project that the global power consumption from computing is going to exceed 10% in the near term. And Crusoe's focus is trying to enable humanity to be able to benefit from all of those computing-led innovations that are going to come about from that without having to suffer the environmental consequences of sourcing that power in a non-climate aligned capacity.
So let's say this doesn't happen. Is Bitcoin mining on a path to significantly hurt the climate?
Well, I mean, our focus is trying to ensure that that doesn't happen. So we...
But how, given the way it's happening now, and there are plenty of people who've, raised alarm about how Bitcoin is created, just how much is the way that it happens now hurting the climate?
So I think Bitcoin mining as an industry is actually one of the cleanest power sourcing industries in the world. By many estimates, it's 50 to 60% of the total power powering the Bitcoin network is sourced in a climate-aligned, renewable, emission-reducing way, like digital flare mitigation. And you compare that to the standard grid, that's multiples of what the U.S. grid, for instance, is powered from a renewable perspective.
So if you can harness all of this, then you could probably power many more things than Bitcoin mining, right?
Correct.
So what else?
So we've recently launched the Crusoe Cloud, which is a high-performance GPU cloud service that's focused on delivering low-cost and low-impact computing solutions for people focused on AI research. We're working with amazing research universities like MIT to help researchers there discover the mysteries of the universe in a way that doesn't impact the climate and doesn't impact their pocketbook too much.